My favorite part of the session is when you told me I absolutely could not play a cat girl, and I was like, got it.
I said you absolutely could not play a Tabashi. You can roll up a Tiefling cat.
I am
can't
going
stop
to issue
you.
a formal request for the vote from Final Fantasy III for Nodal's token.
I don't think I can.
Because you can't drop that in quick.
Yeah, I can't. I don't have a way to drop it in real quickly.
You'd have to load that up and then you'd have to resave it.
Yeah.
So.
What character would you have picked, though?
Devout.
Yeah, that's. I'm just not expecting Ferocity to be the main person in the party. So this is Mahogany here. He's dead and he's a bear. And next to him is a brutally tortured, crucified Githzerai that the PCs rescued from some rampaging Tunari on Limbo. And they tended to his wounds as best they could. They removed an awful curse that was afflicting him, and they left him unconscious in this room because they can't drag. He's lashed to a stretcher, and they can't drag him around the dungeon. Although I guess they could. Serenity would still swing the stretcher with a strength of 6, but so they solved the puzzle, and I was very proud of all of you for solving the puzzle. Good job. And the puzzle opened up this center door, which got them into this center column, which is a 3-floor tower. So right now, Riot is you're at the base of the tower.
I think I was at the first axe. We got these swinging axes. I was at the first one.
Yes, you were climbing up to the third.
Axes.
So nobody's is Ferocity on the ground floor down here?
Yes.
Okay. So Liberation is at an axe going up to the 3rd floor. And so in Riot's also headed up there. This over here is our representation of the 3rd floor, where there's the catwalk going across. Kelian has made it to the top of the stairs. Serenity did some swinging.
Yep.
Then you're still dangling underneath the bridge. Is that correct?
Me?
Yeah.
I think so, Destil.
No, I've climbed up on top.
You climbed up on top.
I hammered in those pins.
And that's right, because you hammered the spike into the bridge. Okay.
Yeah, Serenity is on the bridge and Kelian is right behind.
So, Serenity, just over your head, up over your head is the lasso clinging to the Invisiman, but nearby is what looks like a beating heart suspended in air, and this is the heart from which the winds in the tower are issuing. And I gotta get my scratch pad up here, so I know how much damage you guys have done to everything.
Whose turn was it? Do you remember?
It must be Invisiman's because I wouldn't have cut the. I wouldn't have cut it in the middle of the initiative order.
Yeah, I think you said you were going to start with Invisiman next week. So let's start with Invisiman this week.
I think it was right after Invisiman's turn, actually. Weird, huh?
Is that what you think? That doesn't sound like me at all. According to my notes, Kelian has gotten past all of the halberds climbing the stairs. Liberation has gotten past the 2nd, and Riot has gotten past the 1st. Does that sound right to everybody?
Yeah, that sounds right to me.
Okay. Let me get my D20 here, and let's attack Serenity.
That sounds like a bad idea.
How does a 17 do, Serenity?
Yep.
Assuming the 9 won't do anything, though.
No.
Okay. Five points of bludgeoning damage as you watch the lasso swoop down and descend towards your position, and then you just feel a blast of wind that feels like a solid hammer crashing into your chest.
How many key points do I still have?
And that'll bring us to
Down to 3.
Ferocity. Now, are you supposed to roll the R, like ferocity?
You can say it however you like.
All right, Dildo Wiener, your turn.
Aw. Alright, so I'm gonna go up these stairs here.
Okay.
Are you not gonna disengage and?
There are no halberds on the first floor landing.
okay.
Going from the
there's nothing
second to
near
the
me.
third floor.
Okay. So you're gonna double move and just.
I'm gonna double move and get up to the first halberd.
Okay.
Where's it at?
Here, let me draw them out. We've got one here, here, and here on the second floor staircase, going up to the third floor.
All right, so I'm gonna get over here.
So Liberation got past that one.
Yeah.
Riot got past this one. And you're technically not disengaging to get away from the halberds. You're technically using an action to watch the timing and dart under it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to go to the first halberd.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's a pretty good shorthand, I think, for what's going on here.
Libation, it's your turn.
Okay, so I'm going to disengage against this one right here. Keep going. Key point to disengage against that one, and that'll put me up at the third floor.
Well, again, you're not technically using the disengage action. You're using your action to do something special, to watch the timing of the halberd to slide under it without it being able to hit you.
All right.
Because if it was the disengage action, you wouldn't have to disengage at all three of them. You just disengage once and you're fine the whole time.
On the
yeah,
other
that
hand,
makes
I
sense.
think using a key point as a monk to do that makes perfect sense. Because they're a monk. That's what they do. It's 6 stunts everywhere.
Now,
I'm right there with you, Nodal, but I only have 3 left. So if
Well, you
he's
just
gonna let
did
me
it.
get away, if he's gonna let me get away with it, I'm fine with it.
that sounds reasonable to me.
Okay, then I'll burn a key point for that. Then.
You're going to burn it?
Yep.
The
Light
first-
it on fire and burn it.
6 months we played D&D before I even started our campaign. I didn't think it was key points K-I. I thought it was key points K-E-Y. And I wasn't sure why monks had keys, like Zelda keys.
They were unlocking their key locks to their
These
power.
are these really important points.
Yeah.
It wasn't until Nick rolled up a monk that I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, that's...
That makes sense now. All right, so I'm up here on
I
the
could
third floor
actually
with
see a
Kelian.
So yeah, you're up. You're up on the top layer bridge now.
Serenity isn't tussling with anybody at the moment.
Serenity is tussling with the lasso suspended in air that's been spiked to the bridge.
All right, so I've moved about, I'd say, 5, 10, 15, 20 feet so far.
Mhm.
25, 30. 30 gets me there. I still got 15 feet of movement. How much rope is tethering Serenity to the Invisiman?
Well, Serenity's not tethered to him at all anymore. She took the rope and spiked it to the
I
bridge.
meant, yeah, that's what I meant.
So yeah, how much rope did you use, Serenity?
Well, it was a 50-foot rope, but I was only about 10 feet or 20 feet below him when I spiked him.
So about 15 feet of rope, you said?
Yeah.
So that's Invisiman's range of movement at the moment. And you're gonna stop there?
You know what?
No.
No?
Nice.
I'm thinking here. I'm thinking how crazy I want to do this. Like, what's my current health? Okay, it's at 18. You know what? I'm not going to. I'm not currently going to do that because I am pretty jacked up, and I am. Yeah.
On the other hand, if you die, we could have a second cat girl.
No. Just no.
Do you guys know how long it's been since I presided over a TPK in D&D? Outside of that Curse of
Couple
Strahd
weeks.
one shot? A couple weeks. It's literally been since high school. It's been that long.
Everyone didn't die in that one shot.
So Liberation, you're done there?
Yeah, I'm gonna hold position there.
Okay. Serenity.
Oh, am I up? Sorry.
No, you're not.
Oh,
I'm assuming an AC 10 is not going to hit.
looking for a 15.
15, okay. An arc of ice-cold wind suddenly spirals down from the heart, attempting to envelop Serenity on the bridge. Serenity, you duck underneath the blast and narrowly avoid being frozen to death. That being said, I need Kelian, Liberation, and Serenity to roll dexterity saving throws. DC is 12.
This is
This is
something
something
I
I
can
can
see.
see.
Yes. Well, Technically, no, but I'll still let you have your evasion.
What's the DC on that?
12.
Pass.
16.
Okay? And as this cold air spirals down, this heart suspended above you continues to thrum, and as it does, it sends out blasting winds in all directions, and the three of you avoid being knocked off of the narrow bridge. Kelian, you're up.
You said it was ice cold, huh?
Yep.
Okay. Is the bridge difficult terrain at all, or is it just wind?
No, it was just wind.
Okay.
I mean, the bridge is difficult terrain. Not technically difficult terrain, but I mean, it's populated with these guys, and there's an Invisiman flying around it. It's not friendly terrain, let's put it that way.
It's tricky terrain.
It's conniving terrain.
Well, I think what I'm going to do... I want to throw a javelin at the Invisimans.
Okay. I actually went back after last week and reread Sneak Attack. Those various weapons don't have the finesse property.
Yeah,
So it's ranged
my
or
conclusion.
finesse. Okay. So yeah, I reread that. So you can get sneak attack damage on this javelin.
Alright.
Wait, can you? Yes, you can. Well, I have to think about where the monster is positioned at the moment. If he's not within 5 feet of a friendly, you can't. You do roll a disadvantage because you're attacking an invisible foe, though.
What if... Okay, never mind.
What if? Okay. Assuming you're attacking the Invisiman. If you're attacking Serenity, you're fine.
Oh, never mind. Yeah, okay.
If you believe point that, you'll win. If you believe point that, you'll crit.
He's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got maximum belief points, so I think I'm going to do that.
Yeah. Probably a good idea. to
All right,
burn something.
roll your third dice to see if you get a crit.
Oops.
Oh, look at that! You got a crit.
Javelin is a D6, right?
Yes, plus strength.
Alright. Right. What?
It flew all the way over here.
It clearly did. So that is... I have my character sheet. Here we go. Right tab. 8 plus sneak attack damage. Oh shit, it's doubled, huh?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Which means you get to nodal it up in here.
Which javelin are you using?
The magic one.
Okay.
Oh, that's a lot of 6 and 5s.
That's
That's
Yes.
a lot.
That's
Okay.
quite a lot of damage.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Hold on.
It's looking like the cool trick I was going to do isn't going to happen anymore. I think you're about to murder this thing.
I can do math. Hold on. 47 damage.
Okay. That's quite a lot. I need to open up calc.exe. Alright, Kelian, moving or staying put?
I'm gonna stay put.
So, now the Invisiman is tethered by a lasso, and the javelin is dangling in midair for a moment. And it hangs there, and you see blood emerging on the tip of it. But then, you see it get flung to the bottom of the tower. That's going to bring us to Riot. Riot, since you said something about a cool trick.
Yeah. I'm going to go as high up as his... Can I get rid of some of these dice?
Yes, please do.
Thank you. So I'm going to get up as high as the second thing. From here, can I see what's going on up there?
Your view is partially obstructed by the bridge above you there, but you can see most of the action. Specifically, you can see the Invisiman dangling on your side of the bridge.
Yeah,
You've got a
that's-
clear
that's
range
what-
shot.
That's what I want. So what I want to do is use the Kadrashi Fork's fog cloud and put it at a point where the fog will reveal the Invisiman's position. Although I guess it's lassoed, so you guys can see it anyway, huh?
They can see the lasso dangling there, but he's still invisible. Let me make a quick ruling on fog cloud. Can you make the fog colored? Is that a property of fog cloud?
20-foot radius sphere of fog set on a point within range. Doesn't say that, no.
I would imagine that's why the spell Fairy Fire
Yes,
exists.
as I was going to say, it would be really nice if Mahogany
Yeah.
was here. Yeah, the area would be heavily obscured here, which means it would inhibit everybody's vision.
So what I'm thinking of doing is putting it at a point where, like, the bottom of the fog cloud would be, like, the point above them.
So you're going to center the fog cloud up in the dome, like above that beating heart?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so that like the fog will kind of outline this thing. Like the very bottom tip of the fog cloud will do that. Is my goal here.
Okay. Before casting the spell, you would know that the fog cloud would last less than a round, because there are greater than 10 mile per hour winds in this tower.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fair. But Serenity's going up, and I figured she could use some help. And
Okay.
also, this is literally the only thing I can do. So I'm going to try it.
Okay, so you use your Kodrashi fork, summon the fog cloud, which smells distinctly of claw shrimp. And there's a lot of movement. The wind is going to, we'll say at the start of your next turn, it'll be dissipated.
Okay.
Until that time, though, we'll nullify the advantage or the disadvantage on attacking this creature. You can clearly see the outline of it flying around above, struggling with the rope. That's gonna. Are you moving or staying put there?
I can't move anymore because I need to use my action to get past
Gotcha.
this. And I just use my action.
Well, you could just run past and let it attack you.
Yeah, I could do that.
Serenity,
But
what's
you're not
up?
playing the character.
All right, Kelian, did you bring your crossbow up here after I put it down on the ground, or are you just carrying the javelins?
I'm carrying the javelins. I assumed you had the crossbow.
No, I pretty specifically put it down on the ground at your feet when I started my ridiculous rope stuff. Is this thing within my reach right now?
Yes.
All right, I'll flip a pair of hand axes off my belt and reckless attack.
Okay.
+1 to hit. That'll be a 14.
14 is good.
Let's see, and then the strength penalties apply to damage.
Does what?
Strength penalty apply to damage.
Yes, for your primary weapon attacks. Yes.
So that's 1 damage.
Okay.
Well,
Second
but that's
attack.
with them all, though, not the hand axes, right?
It's
The
with
hand
any
axes are still
with anything
Oh,
he's
with
using as
any
his
strength,
primary
okay.
weapon. Yeah.
secondary attack mixes, offhand attack. That'll hit a 17
17 hits.
for 2 damage. And that's the end of Serenity's turn.
Okay, so you guys just watch as Serenity is slicing the fog above her head, and she's drawing blood from the invisible creature. And with every hit, the sound of wind chimes gets louder and louder in this tower. For a split second, you see the complete outline of the Invisiman's circulatory system dangling in midair. And then you see more wounds open up on the heart. And the beating seems to intensify for a moment. Alright, we're going to attack Serenity again. So the 8's not going to do it. And I'm assuming the 11 is also not going to do it.
Are you rolling with advantage?
Yes.
Okay. Then
Just rolled really poorly.
Wow.
4 single
Wow, so-
digits.
So I'm thinking like the dice are hitting Burker this week after the bullshit we went through last week.
And you can tell that the creature is trying to pull away from you, but is unable to do so. And that's going to bring us to ferocity.
I'm just going to try to get through this first thing so I can get to a spot where I can actually see people.
Okay. So you're
And
gonna
I'm
join Riot there on
Yeah.
the staircase.
I'm absolutely going to join Riot.
Okay.
And I'm going to say, okay, I can help now. Just give me a minute.
Liberation.
That's all I got.
All right. The Serenity, the guy's still floating about 10, 15 feet above me. And Serenity right now?
Well, right now he's within Serenity's melee reach. She's attacking above over her head and hitting this creature because he's spiked by a 15-foot rope
All
to the
right.
bottom of this bridge.
Then I'm going to flash kick.
You can't do the input for flash kick.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
We just have to
Why?
wait 2 seconds.
Yeah, no, I've actually been holding crouch this entire time.
Oh.
Yeah, you have to hold an action to do a charge move.
Oh, okay. How does a 12 do?
12 doesn't do it.
Yeah, and I'm assuming then that one isn't going to do it either.
He couldn't do it.
Did you roll
Yeah,
a
no, I-
disadvantage?
Even with the
Oh no, the fog cloud's up. You're right.
yeah.
Yeah,
That
but
was-
no,
that
the one's not. I just rolled like that. I empathize.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, so no, I'm just gonna look silly doing little flip kicks and not doing the damn thing.
I told you couldn't do the input for flash kick.
Guess not.
Liberation.
That's me.
Moving or staying put?
I'm gonna stay put.
I just rolled another. An arc of lightning comes screaming out of the heart and narrowly misses Liberation, crashes against the wall just behind him.
Woohoo!
Now I need Kelian, Liberation, and Serenity to make Dexterity saving throw, DC 10. Or, sorry, DC 12.
Yep.
Yep.
Passed.
Okay? And once again, the beating heart throws out arcing winds in all directions, and you guys manage to not get blown over. Kelian.
Alright. Worked so well the first time, let's try it a second time. Got 2 more of these things. I don't roll a disadvantage this time, right? Because he's in the...
Correct, because it's a fog cloud.
Hey.
That will be a 20.
But yeah, that hits.
Alright.
Better than a sharp stick in the eye.
And this is another magic javelin.
Yeah. Kelian's strength is not as good as his dexterity.
I think it's a D6 out of D8.
Oh wait, no, I'm throwing it. I have my dexterity.
Yeah, you
well, it
still-
doesn't matter. I
still
still
your
Oh, never mind.
So 8, 12. Smart about this time. That's significantly less though, so
Well, you didn't crit, so it's going to be
12.
Also, he didn't roll 12 sixes.
21.
Okay. And again, the javelin hits home and draws blood, and then is flung to the bottom of the tower. Moving or staying put there?
Yeah, I'll stay put.
Riot.
Riot's going to use her action to, like, fake disengage. We need a word for this.
To walk
move
past
up.
the halberd, you can
Right.
say.
And walk up to the third halberd.
Okay. Serenity, what's up?
Yeah, let's just keep on swinging.
Yeah, the fog cloud's gone, by the way.
Yes, at the
Oh,
beginning
so
of...
is this a disadvantage now?
Yeah.
So
you-
that'll be the 17 or the 17. So I'm just going to take the 17 for 18.
18 hits.
For 1 damage, second attack. 14
Also hits.
for 1 damage, third attack.
Wait, all these are 1 damage? Ooh,
I
crit.
have -3 penalty to strength.
yeah.
That's a crit on the offhand.
All right.
That's pretty rad.
Yeah, it's 2d6 with no modifier. That's really good for me right now.
Like I said, it's better than a sharp stick in the eye.
3 damage.
Not by much, but it is.
Serenity is nickeling and diming this thing with her hand axes. Moving or staying put?
That's the end of Serenity's turn.
Okay. And once again, for a moment, the heart thrums more strongly than usual. You see the outline of the Invisiman's circulatory system in the air. And more wounds open up on the beating heart.
He's transferring his... Yeah, okay.
Riot points at the thing and looks at Frosty and like,
She says it's healing him.
Serenity, how does a 17 do?
It hits.
And so does the 24, I'm hoping.
Yep.
No.
All right, here comes a whole bunch of bludgeon damage for you. You've played NetHack. You know how dangerous air elementals are.
Yeah.
That's a decent roll.
the debris hits you.
24 bludgeoning damage. As 2 blasts of hammer hard air crash into Serenity. Ferocity, what's up?
I'm just gonna keep moving forward.
Okay. Liberation.
All right, so this guy's about to get kicked again, but this time I'm not entirely sure where he is, so it's going to be roll at disadvantage. Not a bad disadvantage though. How does a 17 do?
17's good.
3 damage.
That's less good, but okay.
Second hit. How does a 14 do?
14's good.
Oh, there goes the d20s again. That one does more damage. That does 6 damage.
Okay.
Punch, 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 and staying put.
Okay. Now, can I also point out
Mhm.
that McDohl, at least half the time, describes his attacks as Street Fighter moves?
Yeah.
He played a psychic character for over a year and never once said Psycho Crusher. Not
That's fucked up.
once. So you're staying put there?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm staying put here.
Okay. Kelian.
No, I had better. I had the Elsie clone torpedo.
Kelian, how does a 23 do?
Just hits.
Just hits.
Just hits. Yeah.
Don't worry, I rolled low. You're fine. 5 points of cold damage as a blast of frosty air comes spiraling out of the heart, coats your face and chests with biting cold, and then all 3 of you on the bridge, please make me a Dexterity 12 saving throw.
Yep.
Failed.
Failed.
Do I need to make that dexterity save as well?
Yes, you're on standing on the top layer.
Oh.
Hey, nice. I'm gonna belief point that.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, that'll pass now.
Serenity failed.
Mhm.
Serenity, 15 points of bludgeoning damage as you are blown off the bridge and knocked to the base of the tower. So you are now down here. Technically, the halberds should all get attacks of opportunity on you. But
Are
is that
you
it
down?
for you? Are you down?
No, I'm just prone.
Prone. You definitely are prone, yes. It's Kelian's turn.
How far is the heart away from me in terms of the bridge?
It's dangling up in the dome above the bridge. No more than 15 or 20 feet up there. It's a little too high to hit with a melee attack.
Okay, that's.
But you could shoot it with your crossbow, if only.
If only.
Shall we start singing Imagine?
Well, all right. Let me. I will hurl a javelin at the heart.
Don't worry, Serenity's going to stand up and bring him back upstairs for you. All right, go ahead, roll it.
That would be 11.
11 hits.
Wow.
Cool. Do I get sneak attack? I don't think
No.
I get sneak attack.
You don't. Not unless you can grant yourself advantage somehow.
Yeah, then no one is close to it. Hey, that's a 5.
5 points.
Yeah.
You hurl the javelin up at the heart, and when the javelin strikes the heart, it pierces deep. The tip goes in, and parts of the shaft of the javelin. The heart beats violently and erratically for a few moments. And now the javelin is stuck in the heart. Moving or staying put?
I'm gonna stay put. I'm going to move I want to move to the position where I am closest to the javelin sticking out of the heart.
You're probably already in that position.
Okay, that's
Presumably
what I thought,
you
but
threw it straight at the heart, so it's kind of
Yeah.
poking in the bottom of the heart. Maybe with a acrobatics check, I'd let you try to jump up and grab it and wrench it free. We'll see how it
that
goes.
might be what I'm doing next turn.
I have an idea for this, Kelian. You're gonna like this.
Riot,
All right.
you're up.
I want to make sure my understanding of these halberds is correct. Because here's what I want to do, and you can tell me if what they're doing won't let this happen.
Sure.
I want to hold my action to kind of like get down on the stairs and extend an arm down to Serenity, so I
Okay.
can pull her up without her having to go through the first 2 halberds.
The problem with that is she's too far away. Because remember,
Okay.
she fell down to the bottom floor. You're at the top of the 3rd now.
Oh, I see.
Your arms are just not long enough. Unless you have rope or something you can throw down to her, and then she could climb up.
Did I ever get
Richards.
rope?
When I see you bending down, I got some rope in my pack. They
There's,
said you should always bring rope. They said everyone always says you should always bring rope, so I brought rope.
And Riot looks daggers at her and takes the rope.
there's
Okay.
30 feet of
Because
rope.
Riot doesn't have any rope. So like to her this is ferocity just like rubbing salt on the wound.
Ferocity gives her a hug. She's like, I'm so glad I was able to help.
So I've got a rope lower to Serenity, so she
Okay.
can bypass the first 2 things.
How heavy is Serenity?
Pretty heavy.
That's a good question.
Being an 8-foot tall Earth Genasi.
I have weight is 235,
Okay.
but that doesn't count her gear.
That's true. If you don't have anything to secure the rope to, it'll probably take both of you to hold it so she can climb up.
She's got another 80 pounds of gear.
But yeah, you could totally throw the rope down to her.
Yeah. And I guess my action is bracing myself.
You still have an action. I won't make you use an action to throw a rope down.
Yeah,
You
but
just-
the only action I could really take is like getting past this thing, and that would kind of obviate the whole thing.
So that brings us to Serenity. Riot has thrown you Ferocity's rope, which I'm assuming, I'm picturing like a Lisa Frank rope. Like it's multi, like Ferocity carries a Trapper Keeper.
So how many javelins are scattered around the floor down here?
Two.
Magical ones?
2.
I'll grab both magical javelins.
Okay.
Go up 1 level. Let's see, so I had 20 feet left.
Well, they threw you a rope. You can climb up the rope.
I know, 20, 25, 30. So I'm using my action to dash. I'm also grabbing the crossbow that I left on the ledge here as I'm here.
Okay.
And I've got, let's see, so I took 20 feet to dash. I had 80 total. Then I'll move to here where the rope is, and I'd have 20 feet left to climb the rope.
Okay. So you're going to run up the first floor of the stairs and then climb the rope the rest of the way?
Yep.
And Riot and Ferocity, are you heaving her up to the stairs?
Yeah.
I am, yeah.
Okay. Then
So which floor am I on now?
You're right with Riot and Ferocity at
Okay.
just about the top of the 3rd floor. You've got to go through the last halberd, and then you're up there.
Okay, I'm gonna just... Is this a safe square to end my turn in without halberd
No.
concern?
You'd
No,
need
it's not.
you'd need an action to get through there.
Okay, so am I just like squeezing into one of these squares then? Or
You're just squeezed next to them. They're laying down on the stairs, hoisting your
Okay.
800-pound made of rock ass up.
Okay.
It's gonna bring us to Invisiman. So once again, for a split second, you see his circulatory system hang in the air, and the heart thrums. And Invisiman is gonna take out his aggressions on Elsie Clone.
That's not my name.
Elsie Clone's clone.
Elsie clone. Huh?
I liked you better when you were Nazi Clone. I got bad news for Elsie Clone.
What's my bad news?
I just crit you.
That's probably going to be me going down then.
Let's find out. I get to roll a lot of
Let me
D6s.
try. Let me like see if I can use my action to like draw its attention. Like,
You try to use cutting words?
essentially,
Okay.
To decritify that?
yeah. I don't know if it'll work. If Rick will allow it.
It works. So you can go ahead and roll the D20.
Okay,
Or
It's
it's like, what, a
it's a
D...
D8. It's a D8.
Oh, I thought you made a
So
roll
it takes
percentage.
six off whatever that was.
Okay. That still hits with a 23.
Yeah,
That's not a
It's
crit.
not a crit.
That's fine.
Well,
I did my part. I did my best. I don't.
I don't get to roll all the D6s now.
You should. It's really fun.
Shouldn't roll more than 3, Brickroad, just saying.
18 points of bludgeon damage
That is right at 0 for me.
as he hammers you to the bridge and knocks you prone.
Nick, I've got a really important question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. Drop into a different Discord channel so I can ask this.
And I'm scared. I'm scared, guys. Listen.
No, you shouldn't be scared. This is the idea Nodal doesn't want to.
Kelian, for your position,
How you doing?
as soon as Liberation hits the bridge, you see the rope go taut in the air away from you as far as possible. So the creature is out of your range. It's obviously struggling and trying to get free of the rope. That brings us to Ferocity's turn.
All right, Ferocity sees Liberation go down.
Mhm.
She goes, "Oh no, Nakama!" The untranslatable healing word.
Oh my god! I'm dying now. Can I take a death save? Can I death save failure for that?
If you're going to complain too much about this healing word that your companion is giving you out of the graciousness of her heart, you are going to make death saves because you're going to be blown off this bridge and get 2 failed death saves from hitting the ground. If I was you, I would take the healing and not bitch about it.
Okay, fine.
Just saying. I mean, you know. So how much does the healing word give back?
Like,
D4 plus
yeah, let me roll this D4.
D4 plus some change, depends on wisdom bonus, I think.
That's 7.
7 points.
Wow.
It's my charisma bonus. It's not my wisdom.
Oh, okay.
Bards are weird.
Bards are weird.
Okay, so you're up, but you're still laying prone on the deck for now.
Yep.
And you know what? That bridge seems real raw. I don't like that bridge at all. I'm gonna stay right here.
Okay. Liberation, it's your turn.
Have my movement to stand up. How far up is the heart?
It's no further than 15, 20 feet up in the dome. The dome itself extends a little bit further, but the heart is kind of suspended in midair above the bridge.
Okay, so I got 20 feet of movement.
Yep.
I'm going to run up the wall, grab onto that heart.
You're just going to grab it? Just run up
Yeah,
there?
what I want to do is I want to spend my action to pull the to get the javelin out and toss it down to Kelian.
Okay. No, that's easy enough.
So yeah, I'm. so let's draw this right here, and
Nice. So you run up the wall, leap off, grab onto this heart, and it's very difficult to hold on to. Not because it's slippery or anything, but because it's issuing such strong winds in all directions. But you manage to get enough of a grip to kick down with your foot at the javelin, kick it loose, and it clatters to the bridge at Kelian's feet.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so yeah, that's where I'm going to be right now.
Okay. Now it's time to kill Liberation.
That's a good turn.
I'm sorry, no, now it's time to kill Kelian.
Well, no. That first thought's better.
Is it? Kelian, how does a 24 do?
Just hits.
Just
Again.
hits. Oop. 7 points of lightning damage as an arc of lightning blasts out from the heart. I need Kelian to make a dexterity saving throw DC 12. I need Liberation to make that same save at disadvantage.
Yep.
Yes! 14 and an 18 on die.
So, Liberation, you feel the winds blasting out of this heart, and you almost lose your grip. Dangling up here is very precarious. But you don't fall. Yet. Kelian, what's up?
Okay, pick up my javelin and throw it back at the heart.
It's Serenity's javelin, you're just borrowing it, but okay.
No, it's my javelin. It's my javelin now.
I can see Kelian doing that, like, after the adventure. Serenity's like, hey, thanks for, taking the javelin. Can I have him back? Kelian just be like, no. I use him better than you do.
I hope this doesn't go badly for Liberation.
Maybe you think I'm a member of a different faction, the Giver.
14.
Looks like a hit.
That hits.
Yeah, can we go to Bizarro Signal next?
I've told you guys about the Ring Giver faction, haven't I?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you met one. I introduced one before.
8 plus...
Yeah, you get the whole sneak attack, because
Yeah.
Mofo's clinging to it.
That heart is distracted.
I am super pro at this.
Uh,
Ooh, it's
yeah.
good. That's 18 right there. I see
18 plus 8 is 26.
You know what makes that even better? The heart is vulnerable to piercing, bludgeoning, slashing damage.
Oh, yes.
So-
oh, that is
26 times 2 is 52 damage. Now, what is the record for most damage in a single attack so far in the campaign?
in this
This
campaign.
campaign?
52 seems like a good contender.
I would say so. Yes.
I think we had a 60 at one point. I think Keelan got off a really good crossbow shot at one point.
This is, however, very bad news for Liberation.
Yeah, this is what I
Okay.
thought.
Liberation, I'm going to need a dexterity saving throw. DC is 12. Once again, make it at disadvantage. Looks
Yeah.
like you're fine.
Liberation can make dexterity saves in his sleep.
Yeah.
Mostly.
You pierce the heart, and the beating, again, gets very erratic for a moment, and then it beats one final powerful blast, and everybody feels the wind blast them backwards. Kelian, you're knocked up against the wall. Riot, Serenity, and Ferocity, you as well. Liberation, you feel the heart deflate like a balloon as you're clinging to it, and you barely manage to leap from it and land back down on the bridge. The heart itself is bleeding from 1,000 different wounds now, and it falls out of its place in the dome and crashes onto the second floor bridge. Invisiman is still tethered to his position.
See, if I was if Brooke was gonna press the issue, it'd be like, okay, I ignore the first 45 points of falling damage.
Well, yeah, you'd be fine. You're all right. Kelian, moving or staying put?
Staying put.
Riot, you're up.
I'm going to try and pass that last thing
Okay.
now that I can. Oops, got us both here.
With Serenity on your
Serenity.
back.
Yeah. And get up to around here-ish, I guess.
Okay.
I don't think I would be able to hit the thing, because all I've got is my fork.
No, he's out of melee range right now.
Yeah. I can... Yeah, I'm just going to use this one last fog cloud to help us all out.
Okay.
This is the last of what I got. This is it.
This fog cloud will persist because there's no more winds blasting around the tower.
Yeah.
That brings us to Serenity.
So, what's the state of the Invisimans right now?
He's flying about 15 feet above the bridge. The rope is completely taut. So you wouldn't be able to hit him with a melee.
You can see his outline in the fog.
Yes.
Do I do have line of sight to him?
Yes.
And what about the heart?
The heart,
Heart's dead.
the dead heart carcass
Okay,
is laying on the bridge right in front of these three over here.
I'll go ahead and take a shot with Kelian's crossbow.
Okay. I love that they just trade weapons.
That'll hit an armor class of proficiency. Sorry, I don't have crossbow written down. 15
That hits.
for 2 damage. And then I'll hand Ferocity 2 good berries and tell her, feed these to anyone that drops.
Okay, I can do that.
Ferocity is really growing on me.
That was a glass crossbow bolt, by the way.
Okay. You see the rope. The shape of the Invisiman's movement in the fog cloud, tugging at the rope, pulling it taut, but unable to pull the Pitten out of the bridge. Has Ferocity ever eaten a goodberry before?
No.
Then she's gobbled both of them down. Because she's a sensate. What do these
They're
taste
so
like?
good.
You get 2 hit points back.
No,
Great.
it's Ferocity's turn, though.
Alright, Ferocity is I've been pondering over 2 very different characters in my head. I'm gonna go through past blades for now.
Okay. Just
Delay
stand-
this for 1 more turn.
Okay. It's getting kind of crowded on the bridge, so you'd actually be like right here, which is just behind Riot.
That's fine.
On the other side of the blade. That's going to bring us to Liberation.
I'm gonna go over to where the rope is spiked in.
Well, right now
Yeah,
the heart carcass is laying on top of it.
That's fine, as long as I can get to a point where the rope is.
Sure.
I'm going to, and then I'm going to reel this thing in like a fish.
All right, and easy enough. I mean, whatever you're reeling, it feels weightless. You feel the rope in your hand struggling against you, but you pull him in. How close do you get him?
I get him right up on me.
You
and
want him
keep
right
on
up
dodge.
on you. A key point dodge. Okay. That'll bring us to...
Because some bullshit's about to happen, I know.
That'll bring us to Kelian. Kelian, the bad guy is 10 feet away from you, 5 feet away from Riot, and 5 feet away from Serenity.
Cool.
You do have disadvantage to attack him, though, because
Yeah, he's been pulled
Liberation
out of the cloud.
yanked him out of the fog cloud.
Oh, okay. Well, I still grab the javelin and hurl it at him.
Okay.
Yeah!
Oh,
8?
No. The javelin
20.
clatters against the wall next to Serenity.
Well, I'm gonna belief point that.
Okay.
Man, burn through them belief points.
That's what they're for.
it's only used 2.
So, it'd be 18 plus 4 is 22.
That hits.
Yay.
I believe in you, Kelian.
You can add your sneak attack to this. He's LC Clone pulled him right up into his face.
That will be 9 plus. Plus 12 is 21.
21?
Yep.
And the javelin sticks in midair, and this time it doesn't go clattering to the ground. Moving or staying put?
I like it here.
Okay.
Where I've been has worked out really well for me.
Riot, you're up.
I'm gonna move in and try and fork this thing.
Fork him. Very good.
Let's see.
Damn near killed him.
Where I come from, we call this the Quinniquen.
That's a real bad roll. So I don't do anything. I'm gonna move back. I know it's gonna provoke the OA. Just I need to give Serenity room to work.
Sure. He's not going to hit with the OA, though.
Okay.
So that's going to bring us to Serenity.
Do I currently have a disadvantage on this guy?
Yes.
Okay.
He's been
So-
Well, the
pulled
fog's
out
there,
of the
right?
fog. Well, the fog is up above him.
What about
Oh.
the javelin? What about the javelin
Well,
that's sticking out of him?
He can at least
It is,
see
but
He's got a rope wrapped around him too, but he's still invisible.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and throw the 2 extra javelins I have to Kelian, and then I'm gonna take a shot with this crossbow.
okay.
That'll hit an 11 on armor. No, 15 on armor class
That hits.
for 4 damage. That's another glass bolt.
Keely, he's going through your glass bolts and doing 4 damage each round. That's gotta sting.
Nah.
Okay. That'll moving or staying put.
That's the end of Serenity's turn.
And now you see the javelin get flung to the bottom of the tower. Liberation, you feel the rope being tugged through your hands, but you manage to hold it fast.
Cool.
I'd make that in the post strength check, but he just rolled a 2, so I'm not going to bother.
That's legit.
Ferocity, you're up.
I literally don't have anything I can do to assist this right now.
You don't have any damage cantrips at all.
I think I'm gonna take Vicious Punnery,
Mm-hmm.
but I can't see him.
Ah, yeah, that's true.
So I'm just gonna strike a nice pose,
Okay.
and I'm gonna give a vicious pun anyway. And I'm gonna say, I can see you're having a problem.
Are you not going to inspire anybody?
I have so few left.
I don't know that that was a pun, really.
See.
It was more like a dad joke.
Oh
Vicious
man,
dad
that's way
pun.
better. Vicious
dad
dad
joke.
jokery.
It's going to
why,
bring us
though?
to Liberation.
But why though?
Oh, this is your fault, Brick Road. You did that.
Liberation, please take your turn for the love of
Oh, I'm
God.
going to. Oh, I like normally I'm describing my attacks and doing stuff. Now I've got nothing. I'm gonna just swing at this thing with disadvantage. 12 is not. Yeah.
12 does not hit.
All right. How about a 16?
16 hits.
Yeah. Okay. So it's just gonna be d6 plus 2, which gives me 8 more damage.
Okay.
Still struggling in my rope.
Yes.
Key point dodge.
Okay. That'll
Last key point. Let's make it a good one.
bring us to Kelian. Kelian, can you be the guy right now?
Not if I'm rolling at disadvantage or not.
Well, yeah.
Come on, big bucks, no whammies.
I love you, Kelian. Hey.
17.
That's good.
Well, maybe I will be the guy.
Can you be the
Yeah.
guy right now?
You're gonna get that sneak attack, yo.
It's a good
going
base.
to be-
I use that phrase with my other group too, and last night I'm like, I'm pretty sure John's the only person in this room who's actually played I Want to Be the Guy. And he goes, I didn't play that game. That game fucking sucks.
They would be like, yeah.
22.
And the rope goes slack in Liberation's hand and falls over the
Liberation
side of
lets
the
out a
bridge.
breath and then holds out his fist to Kelian.
Ferocity
Kelian will
turns to Serenity and
reluctantly
goes,
fist bump.
he dropped. Should I give him a good berry?
No. Right, shakes her head. No.
Is this heart anything like the heart from that we stole on Mount Celestia?
No, much larger.
Okay.
I want to loot the treasure. And Ferocity jumps over to the horrible pulsating heart.
And it's not pulsating anymore. It's like it's deflated at this point. But it's pretty
Kelian pulls
gross
his arm out like, no.
and covered in wounds.
So what is up here past the heart? Like, what do we come up here to do?
Just the dome above you, that's it.
Huh.
And then there's glass set in the top of the dome beyond which you can see the chaos matter of Limbo.
Alright, gonna, like, puncture the heart with a fork, try and tear it open. See if there's
And-
anything inside.
Oh yeah, Ferocity is absolutely arms deep inside this heart.
And there's nothing inside. It was inflated like a balloon.
Mhm.
So you pierce it with the heart, tear some of the flesh back, and it's
Liberation lets out a breath, long breath, and it's
And
like,
the weird heart blood on ferocity, like, it looks like blood on fur, but it's a bit wrong.
Are the halberds still going?
yes.
Okay.
so you need to be careful going back
Is a
down.
guy still invisi?
All you see when you look down is the rope hanging from the bridge. The lasso is still intact.
Well, Kelian will go investigate Invisiguy as best he can.
He's also still got a javelin, or 2 javelins now hanging out of him.
But yeah, Kelian goes down cautiously past the halberds before going up to the body of the Invisiguy.
Very good.
Riot puts Ferocity's rope in her pack.
So what is... Okay, I'm going to carefully move my way through the halberds to make it up to the topmost bridge.
Okay.
What is above this in the tower? Is
It's
there
just
an open sky?
The dome of the
ceiling?
tower. There are windows in the dome through which you can see the chaos matter of Limbo.
How high up is the ceiling?
From the bridge, the highest point of the dome is probably 30 or 40 feet above you.
Okay. I'm going to retrieve my javelins at this... Or I'm going to retrieve the rope and pittons.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
gonna say that. Yeah, I was gonna
Well, when you
get
pull the spike
something
out of the
from-
bridge, the invisible body slumps to the bottom of the tower.
Do you guys think that this could be the way out that the message told us about?
Oh, I thought he was at the bottom of the tower already.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Just speak from your heart. I'll hear it.
And Riot gets out the slate and writes, what message?
Did you guys not get a message?
Nope.
Oh, okay. So I saw a message when I first wake up, and it said stuff about, like, we're in the dark part of the tower, and everything's terrible. Then that part seems true. But it also said that if we're smart enough to find it, there's a way out of here.
Is there, aside from the doorway that we came into this part of the tower through, has there been any, like, thing within the tower that's kind of like an arch or a doorway?
There's these stairs back here that we didn't use.
Yeah, there are
No,
lots
I mean
of
within
doorways,
just the
but
tower that we're in right now.
he's asking if,
Just
if
part
there's
of the
been
tower.
portals around. No, you haven't sensed
Yeah.
any portals.
Nothing that I might... Well, I was going to sense portals on something that looked like it could have a door, but yeah, okay.
Technically, a portal could be anchored to any of the doorways in here, but
Right.
I'm
I
going to
don't
go down
think
and
I
look
went
at the
through
stuff
any
on the floor.
portals when I got here, so it stands to reason we wouldn't need a portal to get out.
Are
Right.
the halberds still swinging?
yes. So, Riot, what were you saying?
I want to go look at this thing on the floor. Is there a thing on the floor here?
Is there
This, like, yellow thing.
no, that's actually not there.
Okay.
That's just the design on the map that got
Gotcha.
drawn.
Kelian, do you think you can do anything about... Come over to one of these halberds and see if you can do anything to disable it?
Oh, before you... And then once you put it down, we can figure out how to make it work again. And then there'll be our halberds.
Yeah, let's take a look at the swinging halberds.
You
There's a
could probably
mechanism or
disengage it with a Thieves' Tools check. And then pull it free from the wall if you wanted.
Sure.
Okay, go ahead and make that check.
Plus 16.
16?
Yeah.
You fiddle with the base of the halberd where it's attached to the wall for a moment and stop its movement. And then, after a few moments, you manage to pop it free from the mechanism, pull it out of the wall.
Can you use halberds, Serenity?
Oh, yeah, but not any better than... I mean, right now I'm assuming it'll just be too weak. I'll be too weak to really get any value out of it.
Hmm.
It's mostly interested. Is there anything else, like examining the mechanism or the crevice in the wall where it comes in? Like, is there any obvious place? Is there anything interesting about it? Like, is
No,
it just like
it was just where it was
Just a
attached
simple
to the
mechanism.
wall, swinging back and forth.
But there's no like button or lever or anything to turn it off. It's
Nope.
just going.
You used your own thievy expertise to do that.
Okay.
All right. I guess
And
we
what
should
about
go
the
back
Invisi
down
guy?
then.
This guy's
See you
laying dead on the floor, and you can't see him anymore because the rope and the javelins have been removed from his form. But so don't trip over the corpse when you go downstairs.
Well, I'd still pat him down looking for anything. Try to figure out if he is
And
some sort of humanoid I recognize.
patting down the shape, it feels very cold and clammy and rubbery. It doesn't feel like skin. It feels very wrong.
Maybe it's a guy in a costume.
No clothing.
An invisible costume.
No weapons, nothing of that nature. No junk.
Well, Kelian was all interested about that.
We all know.
Well, I'm done here.
Right on a slate to Serenity. What was the point?
Of getting the halberd?
What happens if I
No,
cut him?
Of any of this?
Sorry.
Oh, I have no idea.
What happens when I cut him a little bit?
You-
Because I saw the circulatory system before, so I'm wondering if he'll bleed out.
It feels like you pierce the body, and your weapon becomes red with blood.
It was an
Weird.
invisible costume for his visible blood. Poke
What's
him some
next?
more.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming there's no like visible skin. Like when I puncture this rubbery texture, I'm essentially just puncturing his skin, and that's
Right.
what's causing the bleeding. There's no
Yeah,
like.
you don't see anything except your weapon becomes stained with blood when you pierce and pull it out. There's no blood pooling up on the floor. You don't see any part of this thing.
I'm going to feel around the sides of this catwalk to see if there's like invisible platforms off the side.
You go up one side and down the other, and nope, you're at the top of the tower.
What's the exact point where when you stick him, he starts bleeding and stops being invisible?
Well, he never stops being invisible.
The blood shows up eventually.
Only when it's already stained on his weapon.
Oh, so you have to take it out.